Hello and welcome. My name is Trismegistus. This is Factorio. We're going to be running through the Factorio Friday Facts number 375 quality today. Slightly different though. I have already done a read through of the actual content. It was quite a long post, quite a lot of detail in it. It took me about an hour, I think, to read it all through, barring some misstatements and cock ups basically of the reading. But yeah, it's quite a lot of stuff in it, so I figured it was probably too much to run through and do speculation. So in this we will focus on the speculation. If you want to watch the video, which is the combination of this speculation and the proper read through, then there will have been a YouTube video with just that content in. If you're watching this on YouTube, then that will have been several weeks ago. If you're watching it on Twitch, then it will be posted probably Wednesday again. So part of my continuing endeavours to try and work out a workflow that works for me. It's still been taking me about 4 hours or so to edit the videos down. So yeah, it's quite a long time. I just kind of figured if I do a read through, I can do it cleanly. I can do retakes. And then I can just edit in bits that I think I want to do in this speculation session. But yeah, I've made some notes though as to the bits I want to talk about, so we'll run through those. The first one is this Matrix quote here. So I mean, Matrix is phenomenal. So fine sort of thing. But I hope they don't keep doing this because it was a bit of a pain to read it through. It's obviously a very well-known quote by a very good actor, so wasn't able to really do it justice. But yeah, I sort of appreciate the joke, but I hope they don't do too often. It feels a bit like an attack actually on those who do these read-throughs, as it's difficult stuff to get through. So this horizontal versus vertical growth thing, it was quite interesting reading it through because as a long-term Civ player, the way of playing of the game of like doing I don't think it's called horizontal or vertical. It's sort of wide and deep. I think in Civ is the sort of traditional tactics. They've sort of stopped you really being able to do it from 4, I think. But you used to be able to do a thing where you basically covered the map in small towns basically and just used every single tile. But all of your cities, you had loads of cities and they were all very small. And then the other strategy was just to have a few cities that had like enormous populations and were just like production powerhouses. So the idea being that if you spread it across lots of tiles, lots of cities, although it takes like 50 turns to make a tank, you've got 50 cities, so you get a tank a turn. And the other one is that you can make a single city that's so productive that it can make a tank every turn. So, it's like balancing those two approaches. It's quite interesting thinking about Factorio in those terms because it is sort of like that. There's that idea of you just expand and you just grow and grow and grow. And the other, change you can do is to go deeper and deeper and deeper, except it's quite limited with Factorio because you've got belt speeds, you've got machine speeds and certain space limitations for a number of modules and beacons and stuff. So basically, this quality thing feels a little like them giving you more depth options that you can, make these quality modules, and then your productivity can shoot up higher. I'll come back to that towards the end. But yeah, it was quite interesting looking at it from a sort of a thinking about Factorio in a Civ like way, civilization. What was the next one I had? Yeah, I guess I'm not the biggest fan, if I'm totally honest, of this RPG mechanic from a naming and like convention point of view. I never really liked in RPGs where you get, you'll get a pistol with, epic quality and these sorts of things. It always felt really artificial to me because, I get, it's sort of the same thing with, what do you call it? Like wear and tear, effectively. So you could say, and it's why something like Stalker, which had one of the first games I played with, where you had weapon degradation and stuff like that. It's sort of the same thing in the sense that, you know, if it's a high quality version of the item in the sense that it works and it's not broken, whereas the low quality item, maybe the stock's broken and stuff like that. You can sort of think it in those terms, I guess. But that's always, you know, this is the best item when it's, you know, new, and then it gets worse over time, sort of thing. That makes more sense to me than you just randomly get items that are really, really great quality. It does sort of work in a sense in the real world, in that, you know, when they're making CPU, you know, chips basically, because there are factors they can't control for, like material quality and stuff like that. You get, like, you know, if you get a die of CPU, you know, chips on it basically, some of them will be of higher quality than others because of just, you know, the materials that were there and how the process worked, etc. So it does sort of make sense in a sense. But yes, I'm not a massive fan. I'm also not a massive fan of having like 5 levels and, you know, uncommon, rare, epic, literally. I always find the terming really confusing. But so I'll probably be thinking about them in terms of level, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quality rather than these things here. So yeah, not massive fan of the naming. It just feels a bit too RPG to me. Okay, the next one. Oh yes, so obviously this here, it's missing the icon for the personal robo port, as I was pointing out when I was doing the actual read. It could just be an oversight. They've cocked that up. It didn't, you know, it's been live for a while, so if that was an error, I think they would have fixed it. But this is clearly a deliberate, therefore, seems like a deliberate exclusion, which is puzzling, you know, especially when you're giving an example. You know, why pick at something that you're then not going to show us? Why not show, you know, another machine? It could be a smelter, something like that. You know, it could be a furnace. You know, why do that one? And the only thing I can think is that, well, there's several options. We could be getting new icons, and they don't want to spoil them. Maybe they really fancy your stuff, but it's a roboport. You know, I know it's a personal roboport, but it's a roboport. And of course, last week's Factorio Friday Facts was about improved robots, and I pointed out then, and I'll come on to it back to it in a second, but pointing out then that you know, they were sort of not quite showing us everything, and I think they were getting level 2 bots, like as a separate technology. It does mention in the list below, we'll come back to that, but it does mention in the list below that, you know, there are at least higher quality bots have a larger battery, and that sort of achieves some of the effects, and that there's faster charging time on roboports. But given that they're denoting the quality just with this symbol, which wouldn't require any kind of extra, you know, imaging other than sticking this onto the existing icon, it's very interesting that this is just missing. You know, it's just not there. It's not like they've, and you know, say, I don't know. It's very strange because, you know, if you were doing that, you're doing something else. Why not just put the old icon on and artificially stick one of these on, even if it's not like that in the new version of the game? It's very interesting. And the point I was going to say about was that a commenter, SG Hausman or Hausman, I'm not sure how you pronounce that username, but on my video last week, it's very weird to be showing my own video on the stream, but basically they made a comment, so down here, basically pointing to 2218 in the video, which is where I was talking about the weird icons or the weird inventory, contents of that they were showing in this picture. And they pointed out it is a weird list. And if you look closely, the red cables are in multiple places and they don't stack. They're also at incorrect places. It sorts like the craft menu. So they are hiding new units from us with red cables. And then they go on to say charging poles, newer roboports, newer, better bots could be, because I point out that, could be what I was talking about, that we're getting level 2 bots. And if you look at, I think, can I zoom that in? There we go. And if you look at this, I might be, let's just check. If you look at this, they're exactly right, and it's a very good spot. And if you want to drop comments on the videos, very much appreciate it. I'll usually try and reply, unless it's a language I don't understand, but I usually try and reply to all the comments. But basically, as you can see, it's also the Spidertron. But basically what they're pointing out is they don't have the numbers. So you see it's got 50 on the chests and those sorts of things. Well, these red wires that are in the middle here, and why are they not stacked with the others? You can do unstacked inventories, but they don't have numbers on them. So there's no number on this item. And so the point was that there's something else under that in that slot. It's not a red wire, and they've just quickly copied that up and pasted it over. The same's also true of the Spidertron, I think, because they do stack and they do have a number. So this is interesting. Why? I mean, I guess maybe they thought it was too obvious if they did it again, but yeah, the Spidertron doesn't have a number either. So what's that hiding? Is it a different level of Spidertron or something like that? But yeah, to me, and especially when you look at where it is, this is what I was pointing out in my reply. You know, those two are next to the Roboports. So is this a level 2 Roboport, or is this a, you know, something like that? Because it's in that block of stuff of bots and logistics chests and Roboports. And Pesman was pointing out that, you know, it could be charging poles or something like that that will improve, you know, bot coverage and stuff like that without having to produce, because Roboports are one of the most expensive items in the game. So yeah, I thought that was a very good spot, and you know, very much appreciate the comment and pointing it out. So yeah, I think this is more evidence here with this missing Roboport that there is something more. At the very least, there's something more coming with robots and Roboports and that sort of thing. And my view is it's going to be a level 2 or a change to how something works. It is interesting. It does still talk about it as a Mark II Roboport. So if there was a Mark III Roboport, you know, why you know, tempt that fate, as it were. So it might just be that a very simple explanation is just that they're redoing the icons and they didn't want to show them, but you know, why not, you know, in this style just stick a new icon in, replace the old icon over the top. Yeah, so we'll have to see. Maybe I should put some money on. I don't know who would accept that bet though. Yeah, so I was going through the list of all the bonuses. A lot of them sort of obvious, so you get sort of faster moving inserters. Although interestingly, it doesn't have higher carry capacity, but and faster assembly machines, furnaces and labs. So some of them aren't hugely surprising, and I say Roboports are faster charging, and worker robots have a bigger battery capacity. So you know, if that was what they were hiding in the, you know, that would make sense that these are, you know, this is a, you know, legendary Roboport, and maybe there's legendary bots down here or something like that. But I think it's higher level bots. So what was I looking at? So power tools. I think power poles with a larger supply area and one extra wire each. I think this is huge. This is going to change a lot of builds because, for example, solar panels. One of the limiting factors is like the power poles and the number of power poles you need to have in, and particularly I mean, it says power poles. I assume it applies to substations, but you know, the amount of space or coverage that they have dictates how big the blueprints are and how dense you can get solar panels, etc. And especially with accumulators and solar panels changing as well, that could be quite huge. I think that might be in the territory of, you know, you go from needing 1 million solar panels to run your mega base to needing like 500,000, but you've got to have a whole system for building quality solar panels, which could be an interesting challenge. Of sort of like, right, do I focus on getting quality items, or do I just go the old route of build 1 million? Solar panels is probably a bad example. Well, I suppose there's the whole space, you know, size of the map questions, but from an optimization point of view, this quality stuff seems to be driven at more production effectively, and so faster assembly machines and those sorts of things are going to make builds smaller, because they mentioned that there's no boost to belts, so belts are still going to be, you know, for the same number of items. So yeah, you'll still be limited in that sense. So you'll be more like, let's, you know, have one machine and it's got 5 belts coming off of it, sort of thing. The modules one was an interesting statement, and it does talk about it in a bit later on, in that they've then capped the productivity, but modules have improved primary bonuses. So that basically means speed modules are even speedier, productivity modules are even producier, and efficiency modules are even more efficient. And there is like a recursive loop, so you can get legendary versions of quality modules. So that increases their quality production rate, and those are on the diagrams and not diagrams, the images, the videos that they've shown in this. So yeah, that's going to be huge. It does say somewhere here, so product, 4 legendary prod modules in an assembly machine 3 gives a 100% prod bonus, 40% before. So this is why they've capped out the machines, because obviously with quality and well, we'll come on to that later on, but they say this is going to be a new way of doing productivity. Sounds like they had to impose a hard limit on how much the machines could make. What was the next one? So Spidertron, yes, and your own inventory, getting both a boost to the equipment grid and the inventory, and that's that's such a relief. It's something I've moaned about a lot, is Spidertron not having a very big equipment grid in particular. It seemed daft to me because it's this giant, spider machine on legs, and it's got this tiny equipment grid compared to you. So +1 in each direction means 1 row and 1 column in each direction. So a legendary Spidertron will have an additional, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, additional 4 rows and an additional 4 columns as well. So that's an enormous amount of extra space. Because I think is it only 5 at the moment that must be 4, because you can only put a fusion reactor in. So basically, when you get if you get a legendary Spidertron, you'd be able to stack 2 fusion reactors on top of each other rather than having them put next to each other. So that gives you, and you would have an extra fusion reactor on the side. So effectively, with the bonus, if you had, say, 1 fusion reactor and then a load of stuff, you'd then be able to put another one below and another one to the side and one below that. So you effectively quadrupled your sort of number of things, still having double the amount of extra space in the equipment grid. So that's an enormous increase. Not so much for you because you've already got quite a lot, but the mining drills, I just noted that it was interesting that it talks about depletes resources slower. So obviously there's the mechanic at the moment in the game of productivity and speed. And so this sounds like it's operating on a different axis. So you would still get productivity bonus, presumably, as one of your researches. And you can just stack that up and stack that up. But this depletes the resources slower. So effectively, if you imagine you get a really big bonus on productivity bonus on a mining drill, and it produces 5 items for every 1 that it uses, effectively what it's saying is that it wouldn't necessarily use 1 item. So you're just magicking 5 bits of ore out of nowhere because it doesn't deplete as much, but you're still getting the prod bonus. So yeah, that could basically mean that like 1 patch very late game will just feed your factory, and it gets again into the territory of getting the resources out of the patch rather than necessarily putting more miners on it. It's just it would produce it so quickly and never deplete that once you set it up, it would be done. Yeah, I've also just noted that the high capacity battery and bots is interesting, but I still think we're getting level 2 bots. But beacons, yeah. So it says here that it lowers their power consumption. It doesn't talk about, unlike the power poles, it does not say that they have an extra range or anything like that, or an extra bonus, bonus slot or something like that. So these just reduce the power. That will be hugely useful though, because one of the reasons you need a gigantic solar field or lots of nuclear is to feed the power for your beacons, because 12 beacon arrays, 12 beacon machine, production things, the power demand is just off the charts. So reducing power consumption and being able to put in 12 beacon things, not exclusively, but more 12 beacon builds is going to be huge and not have the power demand. So, that lets you build a normal one of those and maybe power it, with a small solar array. And given that the solar panels and accumulators can be boosted, you could imagine a situation where you've got one solar field that that normally does a megawatt and actually produces 10 megawatts, and you've got reduced power demand from your beacons, and effectively that's it. That's all you need. Which sounds, and I say this is one of my thoughts on this whole process, that this is them doing mega bases. This is how they always wanted mega bases to be done, with quality items, rather than just building infinite more, which is where you get back to that horizontal and vertical thing I'm talking about. And the last one is one of something I've been saying should have been in the game from the very beginning, is larger reveal ranges for radars. So it does say reveal ranges, which is a little worrying. I hope that means the cover, like the normal area, not just that it can look further away. That would be great, but we really need to get radars that have double the coverage. For maybe a legendary one, but even the mid tier, because you just end up with so many radars. It's just not sensible, and the radars you can't even put. If you've got a really big blueprint, it'll be outside of the radar range, and you can't really see where you're putting it. We need bigger radars, and I hope that's what that means. And it's not just that they can reveal a tile further away. Oh yeah, so the other point I wanted to talk about was this bullet in the middle here. So it talks about high quality spidertrons and armors. High quality spidertrons and armors with high quality equipment get pretty powerful. There is actually a new achievement for don't care about that. So basically, the high quality spidertrons and armors become pretty powerful. Well, they acknowledged it wasn't last week, was it? It was the one before, that in the normal vanilla game, by the end of the game, you're God basically, and you just wipe out biters. They just become an inconvenience rather than any kind of challenge. And it's interesting they make that point. I suppose you could talk about, pretty powerful in the sense of making building easier and things like that. Maybe that's what they mean by powerful. And if you've got loads of slots, you can have loads of legs, so you're really fast. And maybe that's what they're talking about. But powerful is a interesting word to use. To me, that comes back to this point that they've basically rebalanced the biter mechanics with the other planets, and that the biters are going to have different mechanics, and potentially we might have new weapons and stuff to deal with them, compared to the the vanilla game, and you're going to be powerful in the sense that you'll have lots more options, and you'll be able to kill really difficult enemies easier, and those enemies, if you were dealing with them with vanilla tech, would be quite challenging. That's my interpretation of what they're saying there, but we will have to see. There is also this tease. Is it in this bit? It's not in that bit. Where is this? Activity. Where does it say it? Ah, there we go. So there's this tease here about, with different approaches and possibly different machines or other ways to improve the productivity of the process, tease of some future Friday Facts content, the cost can be brought lower, but it will always be pretty expensive to get the best stuff. So it's directly in reference to the fact that it basically, to get legendary quality items, they're 56 times more expensive than regular items. But what they're teasing here is, and it's very specific, it's very clear, different approaches possibly, so they may be optional, different machines. They could be like self-referring to the quality itself, in that different machines could be taken to be higher quality machines. But to me, that means we're getting some different machines or other ways to improve the productivity of the process. So again, they could be referencing different things. We don't know. We'll have to see what those are. But different approaches might be a bot-based build with level 2 bots. Different machines, again, could be talking about the recycler effectively, and ways to improve the productivity of the process. So this to me suggests we're getting a lot more. I mean, we knew we were. It's not going to be a surprise, but we're getting mechanics that change how we make things and improve how we make things. To me, that suggests, we've already had a bit of a tease of smelting and grinding and crushing. I think we're getting the equivalent technologies of something like refinement and stuff like that. So you can effectively put maybe an ore, and it's in quite a few of the mods, put an ore into a crusher or something like that, and it produces more iron effectively out of a single iron ore than you would have normally, and therefore you're increasing your productivity all the time. So they're kind of getting into this phase, as I was saying with the whole thing, of basically your mega basing is going to be made a lot easier, but through more complicated mechanics. So you would still be able to do the standard just big, but this is saying you don't have to do big, you can do other ways of doing more, basically. That's my interpretation of that. Yes, so thoughts overall. I guess the other thing, I don't know if I mentioned it when I was reading through, but this, I think I did, but this, I was asking in one of my videos, I'm not sure it wasn't this one, the bots one, but why we weren't just getting, the items or the new ways of doing things, new bots and stuff like that in vanilla Factorio. And this is basically saying that it's so different, the code. And I think it's effectively Factorio 2 that they're developing, and it's a second version of the engine. But it's so different, it would take a lot of effort to bring it into the current base game. And instead, they're just going to completely replace the base game with a new version, when it launches. Okay, so thoughts overall. I'm cautiously excited, I guess. I say I'm not a massive fan of this naming convention. It feels weird to be sticking in an RPG mechanic. Not keen on that, but that's a naming and a familiarity and that sort of thing effect. I'm optimistic in the sense that it gives what I think, as I mentioned it before, what I think this really does, what this really does is give us their version of mega basing. So the community kind of came up with mega basing, as a sort of an end game, given that it just stops weirdly. Factorio, you launch a rocket, so what? What does that do for you? I'm hoping there's a proper end to this, by the way, that, although you can keep playing, conquering the last planet gives you a tech that basically means you can go home and finish the game. Maybe not, but I say, that's effectively what happens. But yeah, I think this is their version of mega basing, in the sense that, because one of the things you have to remember is if you're adding in lots of extra planets, well, lots, 5 extra planets, that means you're going to have 5 maps, and it's going to get complicated for, you've got trains moving about, you've got rockets going up to platforms, you've got spaceships traveling between platforms and planets, and it gets a lot more complicated in terms of stuff happening in the game all at the same time. And so you need mechanics really to make it so that you don't have to have such big builds. If you imagine a mega base built on every single planet, would just bring your PC would melt no matter how good it is. So I think this is like a way of saying, right, well, you can have big numbers, but you do it by having, builds like, where is it? It's not that one. Builds like this, where, you know, basically not 4, 8 assembly machines are producing whatever the heck this is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So each one is producing 2, I think it's 2 lanes, isn't it? No, it's 1 lane of green circuits, and therefore, you know, that's just off the charts in terms of production. And I say, with it being backed up, you can't really tell, but yeah, this is their way of doing megabase, in that you don't need 1,000 machines making circuits. You can do it with 10, but to get those 10, you've got to do this complicated process. So that has me excited. I love the idea that it's optional, you know, that you can just opt into it. And it's quite clever to put it as part of modules, because from that point of view, because there's a secret, you know, it's one of the, when you're a new player, and so maybe it was just me, but when you're a new player, you tend to avoid things like modules because they're complicated, and you don't know how to make them and what they do or how they work, and it's an extra mechanic that you don't need to finish the game. And so you just push on and do them, or you'll do something like you'll only do level 3s at the end of the game. You know, you won't bother with the intermediates. So locking it into as a sort of a extra version of modules is quite clever in that sense, because it means it's an area of the game newbies, you know, are less likely to go near, with an area, you know, within an area, and it's within that it's an extra complication. So they can say, oh, this is just too much for me, I'm just going to build a factory and launch a rocket sort of thing. I don't need this, so I'm not going to use it. So yeah, so that's a really good touch, I think. I think that's good. And that was it, really. Say, interested? Will be good to play with it. I think it massively, you know, there's going to be a massive cottage industry, isn't there, of, you know, here's how to build an optimum build, and particularly around these sorts of things, making the actual higher level modules. You know, here's how you get 10 legendary items a minute, and with the productivity stuff, you know, here's how you get the most out of this many. So I think there's quite a lot of potential there. So yeah, so that was my thoughts on the this Friday Facts. I say, bit of a complicated one. It's not that technical, I would say, but it is a weird mechanic that, you know, required quite a lot of explanation. So yeah, and I'll have to see whether doing the videos this way is, you know, viable. On that front, I guess I should switch over, shouldn't I? But on that front, I'm not going to be streaming next weekend because it is the WASD X IGN event that I'm going to. I'm trying to find OBS and I cannot find the thing. Here we go. So we do that. Actually, oh, there we go. So we've got the megabase. So we'll be doing what should we call it? Aesthetic Factorio this week. But yeah, there will be no stream next week. I won't be streaming at the weekend because I'll be going to the event, / I'll be knackered on the Sunday, so I won't be streaming. I will return in 2 weeks. It's just a note, basically. I'll return in 2 weeks, when I will switch over to Angels, basically. So this will be, I'm not going to say the last. Is that audio okay? Yeah, but it'll certainly be on pause while I tackle Angels for a bit, I think, and see what that's all about. And Sundays we'll be switching from Stardew to Tectonica. The idea, thought, is to try and run those up to Christmas, basically, which is not that far away, actually, but there'll be another week as well that I'm also going to EGX, so I missed that week. But yes, basically the idea is to try and you know, see how far I can get with those up to Christmas. Might do some longer streams over Christmas. Let's see where we get to, because I've got quite a lot of holiday Don't know why I'm picking them up, just something random to do. Yeah, quite a lot of holiday because I've not really taken any since. I took a load in March, April, but it wasn't really holiday. It was recovering time worked, basically. So yeah. Okay. Well, I might come back to it, but I'm not planning on working on the actual plastic factory right now because I've gotten a bit bored of it, if I'm honest. I like this idea that I'm doing, so we could progress it, and it is a bit different. But the sort of fundamental thing, the complicated big bit of the actual petroleum is done. So it's really just the actual plastic, which is about these belts. I'm not sure why they're cut off in that way, but it's about the belts, and then actually making the plastic. So it's not actually that far off. So we might come back to it, but I say I wanted to do something different. I might actually go somewhere else and build a different part of the factory altogether. That's wrong, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. It'd be nice to, I think, play again with the boats. Just gonna get rid of this iron patch so it's less confusing. What's that? That's just a random bit of snow. Yes. So where have we got to, as I say? We've got the pipes here. None of this is powered. It's interesting. But we've got pipes of what? Because I never made the loop. See. Then what am I doing up here? What I've actually, so I'm making. I'm not making solid fuel for export, am I? I'm not using that locally. So it's rocket fuel, batteries to sulfuric acid. That well, and I'm planning on exporting all 4 of those. That's lube. Okay, so I am doing a liquid. It might be quite nice to mess about with the boats this stream for some reason. I've just got that feeling. Messing about on boats. But yeah, sort of cautiously excited for the expansion. Not the expansion. I'm hugely excited for the expansion. Cautiously excited for the quality mechanic. So what have I actually made here? Could I put 4 boats on it? It'd be nice if these were the same distance. Or would it? Because we could have like an island, couldn't we? But it's only 4 exit points. Effectively a roundabout, isn't it? So I'm wondering maybe if I make them so that these are 2-way, effectively. Because each of these has a return path. Yeah. Oops. Because basically, what I'm thinking. Harbour? Because that's going that way, isn't it? I don't know how big they are offhand. Quite big and quite chunky little boys. Would that work? So if a boat was to come in, essentially turn around and go up, where would that end up? Need to be further up. If I put that there. Like that. I can have boys. So these need to be here and here. So effectively create this as a single thing. And these can lead, go out to wherever they need to go, so they're not, we'll have separate stackers, basically, to the extent that we need stackers. How does that work with them going around? Because the problem is, if it's that way, a stacker wouldn't, if a boat's coming in, this way, I could make them chain signals, couldn't I? So we have a chain signal here, basically, that copies back, because this is going to go red. So that go red as soon as there's any boat in here. So if there's a boat waiting here, it's red because there's one in there. And a boat won't come in. Don't know if I need chains or not. On the out. But boat won't come in, will it? Because if you're coming in to turn round, then it can be red there because you're walking through, traveling through it, and then as soon as you move into this section, you'll be red. Carry the red up. When it passes out, it'll still be red. Yeah, so that'll work. And this way I can have an island in the middle, basically. For the loading and unloading. And I don't have to have one there then, see, because that's going nearby. I mean, it could still go that way. It doesn't have to be. I can load them on both sides. In fact, why don't I do that? It's probably easier. Then if I'm doing that, why not? Yeah, that's what I have. Right. So why don't we just have the... Well then... This gives me the option of having the harbour on both sides, isn't it? But as part of the land mass, or close to it, sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah, these need to connect to separate points. So we're loading on what? I guess lube would actually probably be better. This side. So we'll have there, and then light harbour I don't want to call in them. In fact, I don't think I've got a convention, have I? Some name. And then what would we want to put? So I guess the plastic would probably be better here. Didn't say. And then the other two, batteries and sulfur. Since batteries need to be made from sulfur, it would probably be better if these were like the other way around. Which would mean the sulfur would be probably easier loaded this one. Which must mean batteries on shop. Okay. Right, so if I copy and paste, let's move well out of the way. But let's also think about where would be this. I mean, this isn't a build as such, but you think about it as, you know, needing some belt space. So I think this bit here is probably the best area to put this in. How does that work as a size? So if that was there, just copy that. This needs to be slightly bigger, doesn't it? That gives me an idea of where things need to be. And click to there. Okay. Popping around again. Okay. Not too far. As always. Could move the whole thing down. It'd look better if it was further down. So, if we take this as the bottom part, and then I see. So if it was say there, copy. That part. There. So where these are. Apologies for the weird super noise, as it were, super loud noise. Just because it's playing the sound effect all at the all of the sound effects all at the same time. Look it. Quite like that these are at the edge of that, you know, landmass as well. So let's move them up. Emphasize that even more. Those are our shipping lanes, is it right? Nice. I'm wondering about maybe. So we go like that. Like that. Nice funky pattern. And one, two. And I'm trying to. I've obviously been doing Stardew Valley streams, and somebody keeps disliking them. I don't know if it's just because they're getting them in their feed, and they're like, "Why, why does YouTube keep showing this to me?" Or if it is one of my actual subscribers, maybe it's meant as a "please do more Factorio" rather than Stardew thing. But see. The streams are a good way behind the sorry, the VODs are a good way behind the streams themselves, so I can't really fix that. There's quite a few more to go. And but yeah, they've been sort of disliking them. Oh. That's right. No, it is fluid, this, isn't it? What was I going to say then? They've been, I say, disliking it. There is actually like a weird thing with disliking. It counts as engagement, so YouTube's it's like a positive thing. It doesn't have quite the same effect as you think it might do. But yeah. Been disliking, and I was sort of the other option I realised, editing the video or editing the VOD slightly, is it could be because I get so into that game and people don't tend to watch the live stream that I just start mumbling, and I'm like literally you can't hear me, so it might be like a subtle complaint on that as well. So I'm trying to think about that and not go mumbly. But I'm a bit of a mumbler, so it's not very easy. Okay. What we need now then are some pumps. And we also need to work out do we want like all of that? That's just feels like two's fine. I mean, really, we should have a big old stack of lube. Form 2 pump, because this holds like 10 tanks worth or something. It's a bit bonkers. A bit bonkers. Also want is some space, because can't fit the power house in. There. Yeah, cool. So we need to hook that oil loop. One of the reasons I quite like this was that the idea of just, you know, hopping across. I put that so far away, but hopping across there. That's one tile over, isn't it? So let's see if that was even. Let's do it even side. So we can hook that. And then this is plastic, isn't it? Which we are making in very large volumes. How many belts worth is this theoretically? Did I put... So they've got modules on, so if I've got my calculator, let's have a look at the express transport belt, please. So 12 belts of the white stuff. Crikey. Interesting. Interesting. I can't remember how many I can fit on, because that feels like it's too many. That's not the boats. This is the boats. Oh, I've been doing... Yeah, there's this thing, isn't it? You don't actually... They'll reach across even though they can't reach, or have I just messed this up? That looks like they wouldn't connect. I hope I haven't messed that up and I'll have to redo it. I'll have to see. Anyway, the point was that that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 13, maybe 14. So maybe 12 will fit. Let's have a look. See. So if we put infinite numbers like that, and then we stick one of them in, and then we put power source on. We, I don't know, give them a meeting chest. And we don't have any plastic. Oops. They don't reach, do they? Huh. Okay. Okay, so how many is that? 14. Okay. So, if we were to have, can't really, couldn't fit a power pole there. Do we need one? That would reach there, so we'd have to delete that one, and we would have to delete that one, and that gives us 12. Yeah. Okay. I'm now very worried that on the other side I have missed, on the other place I have completely messed up. And what I've built is just utterly non-functional. So let's do it as sets of 4, I guess. But where do I actually want them? We've got 2, 3, 4 maybe there. 1, 2, 3, 4 there. And then this is where they start. Just a bit worried about doing the angles. Guess we're going to need that. And that could be there. Then just concerned that there's not enough room for all these belts. Because I don't think this island is wide enough to have the belts and the pipes on. My fear is concerned. He's confirmed. If I went with that, so what we actually need to do probably something more like that. If I was to have that sort of arrangement, could I get that to work? Or are they... No, I think they're feeding into different ones, aren't they? But then we would have the connection thing. They don't need to be there. Oh no, could fit on that. By the looks of things. Oh, autosave. Something like that. Right there. So this was 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Just for aesthetic reasons, really. 2, I guess. But there. So what's connecting up to what? It's that one, isn't it? Okay. And then hopefully, I mean, maybe we could use this central island as the power connector. I don't think it works then, is it? Because although I have got, yeah, water power poles, haven't I? Which I don't think I've really used very much. So it'd be there or something. So if we put one in the middle. Ish. Yeah. Just going to go and connect a power generator to that. Excuse me, and make sure we have some connections. We will swap out your chesticles. End up with, let's see, oh crikey. do end up with material in them, but that's fine for now. Let us put, therefore, a vector source. So. Also a fluid source. Oh. Is that chain a bit? Oh. Oh, it's weird it lets me. I guess because I already had these. I don't know why it doesn't enable this. This is saved in the thing, and I always forget which blowing one it is. It's not in here, is it? No. Is it in cheats? No. Team cheats. Let's research. Creative tools recipes. There we go. It basically gets rid of these, and I don't know why. Every single time. It's weird that it let me do one of them and not the other. There we go. So, that gives us lubricant. You do not appear to be connected. That is very unfortunate of you. Yeah, it's these. It's only these ones that connect. So. Let us revert to that. Back out now again. Yes. I mean, I could just have 4 in the middle like that. And then yeah, we'll have to go with that. It's just an insane amount of stuff, the boats. Right, let's assume that I've got everything okay there. I don't know if I'm going to concrete these or not, is the thing. It'd be nice to have some bits that were just all concrete everywhere. Hello, Crazy Bacon here, how you doing? Welcome back. Having a good day? Did you see the Friday Fact? You read it through? Do I want to concrete these? It's not for now. I don't know where my water is. There it is. If I... Because I think, you know, we need to have... Oh, random square box of thing. We need to have this around here. We need to do these. Safety fences. What do you think about the quality thingy? Mixed feelings. I like the idea of having, like, properly new mechanics. The nature of it was... I've never been a fan. I suppose it is different. It's just because they're using the same terminology, but I've never really been a fan of the whole, you know, common, uncommon, legendary, epic, super marvelous, wonderful, amazing, way of categorizing items. Partly because I tend to prefer. I know it's a weird. It's always a rubbish argument in games of, realism. It's like, you can get shot in an FPS and you just, get a slight movement on your health bar. You don't, fall over in agony, as you would in real life. But I don't know. It always seemed a bit rubbish to me having. I'm not actually a big fan of weapon degradation, but it's more realistic in a sense. Makes a bit more sense to me, weapon degradation. So on that sort of level, I'm not a massive fan of, the naming convention, I guess, of having, common items and, well, uncommon items, legendaries and all that sort of stuff. Big fan of that idea. Okay. One of the things I did like is they were very clear that it's optional. So, you don't need to do it to play the expansion. You don't need to engage with it. It does feel a bit. One of the things that my feeling is it's how they'd intended mega bases to be done, because they do mention in it that they've been working on it for ages, and wait, would that be that one? I got confused as to which one I'm trying to do. So it would be 2, 1, 2, 1. So it would be 2, 1, 2, 1. I think I made a pig zero of that, but I don't know how. Yeah, that it's completely optional. You don't need to do it to get to space. You don't need to engage with it. And it's a bit like mega basing itself in that, it's just something the community came up with because the end of the game is weird, basically. And I suppose this is their version of that, in the sense that, if you want to build big and you want to build more and you want to, have small factories that produce loads of items and things like that, this is your way of doing it. So I quite like that statement and an idea. But the mechanic itself, it's a bit sort of artificial, a bit weird in a sense, I suppose is my issue with it. Like I said, I've never been a big fan of, now you've got a legendary, gun rather than a normal gun. Well, what the hell does that mean? An item's just an item. It's not fundamentally legendary, is it? But let's see. I feel like with it, people are just going to make a separate factory dedicated to make building with the new modules and all. Yeah, I mean, I think that's their intention as well. I think their idea is that people will just I'm just wondering, these aren't actually loading quick as I'd want, sort of thing. Given I'm pumping out 12 items, they're not actually loading 12 items, which makes sense because of what they are. Might have to rethink that, and maybe we have a undergrounded secondary loader there. There's not a lot of room, is there? But yeah, it's sort of it feels like, I mean, they kind of say it in the Friday Facts about, having a central thing in the middle of the factory that's trying to produce a legendary power armor, and it's effectively just sat there doing stuff. But then there's kind of stuff like that, when you think about it, that's how Covarex and nuclear works. You have it sat there, you build it as early as you can, have it sat there so that, in 10 hours time when you actually need the nuclear power, you've then got, the right uranium there in order to build it. So it's a bit like that in a sense. I'll be honest, I'm more intrigued by when they talk about better ways of doing productivity, or different ways of doing productivity, because basically saying that we're going to get something different to prod modules and productivity bonus and that sort of stuff. So I'm sort of hoping it works in conjunction with that. And that you don't end up having to build just an enormous factory just to have a chance of getting a legendary Spidertron, you know? And that there's other ways of boosting productivity. But yeah, I sort of, I don't know. I suppose there's also a bit of a... One of the things that is interesting with it is you've got the productivity modules and speed modules. One of the things... I didn't actually talk about it on my chat through, but they also say that speed modules will be less quality, I think. It's a bit of a weird phrasing I didn't quite understand, but there seems to be an implication that if you put speed modules on and speed, and beacons on machines with the quality modules in, you'll get less, so you won't get that 10%. You'll get like maybe 8% or something like that. So it feels like you would need to use, the mechanic itself, the actual speed, the quality modules, etc., in order to... How many lanes of these am I pumping out? They're quite small, I think. So when they showed like the legendary machines making the higher level items, not all of that is going into it, is it? But it's 3 belts in theory. Maybe I could do it as a net thing. What's the net? Transport belts. Net rate is a belt. It's over a belt though, isn't it? So it's... We'll do 2 lanes of sulfur. And it's not even a belt of batteries. But yeah, that seemed like quite a complicated balancing thing. And I say, if it does mean that you can't really use speed, if your goal is to make as many legendary items as you can, and you can't use speed modules, then that tends to suggest that the product, whatever this new productivity thing comes in, quite important. They're not going to reach again, are they? So I don't know how I've done it on the other side, because it would appear like it's not going to work. Let's just pop. Let's do... I'm doing this to work out what the centre is more. I did like the... they did the same... So one of my commenters on the YouTube version of the video pointed out that, and this might be an unknown thing, I guess, but they've hidden in the Friday Facts before with the bots. They've actually hidden some items. This is right, isn't it? This makes sense. Yeah, they've hidden some items by sticking red wires over the top. So if I just put some stuff in there. I don't think it's on the list. And so my we're getting level 2 bots yet to reach. It's very worrying. Like, we're getting level 2 bots thing. My theory is still intact. Let's see how accurate I've ended up being. There's definitely something else coming with that, though. It's not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how does it work on the other side, on this thing? I must go one lower than I've got. Oh no, it's because it would have to be on the other side to make load. Doesn't matter, so I'm really just trying to find the centre point. But... oh. Oh. Yeah, okay, so they all load in. So where would we... I mean, I could do it as... because we're going to have the belt itself coming over. Wait, this is sulfur, isn't it? Yeah. It's over there. What was the other one I did? I got rid of my notes. I didn't go here from... oh. So ideally... no. I just think if I get in 2 belts in, we could split them into 4. I was going to always forget that. Do that. And then zap. Oops, there. Right. And I can have the batteries one. Yeah. There, except across. I need to put this in. So those on. Okay. And then same again with power. And that pole. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Now, stacking my bob. Death to fishes. Actually, let's put the fencing quickly. So I know roughly where it is. Okay. So this would be not a void. And that's all. This would be Scalfer. This would be batteries. Obviously, as we say, it's only like actually it's only a lane basically. But yeah, let's have a look at fixing this. Just quickly. I'm not fixing it, changing it. So if that was to go across to there. We have that there. Been playing Starfield this week, like most people. I'm sure a lot of people have been playing. It's not really grabbed me yet. I haven't got very far at all. I've only done sort of a few hours. My understanding is it's a bit takes quite a few hours to really get going, because you know it's a 100-hour RPG, so I suppose it's not surprising that it's not instantaneously the good stuff. So the bit I'm interested in getting to is the mining and base building and all that sort of stuff, and as I understand it, it unlocks quite early. But you have to do quite a few skills and stuff to really take advantage of it, apparently. So I've been told. You will have to see. So yeah, I think I'm reserving my judgment until that point. Not a massive fan of doing things like that, but I've ended up where I've ended up, haven't I? You are to rebuild the entire thing. So that'll let it quicker, but I still don't think that's actually going to do 12. Right. So let's get them. Water in. Okay. Now, where are these going? The sulfur and the... So the lube is going to make electric engines. And the plastic and batteries. So these three are really going to all sorts of places, but the sulfuric acid is really only going to Science Island. But what we can do, I think... Because I don't know that I need stacking as such. But you know, two boats would be good. 2 boats are always better than one. Like, I managed to I'm tempted with Starfield, to be honest with you, to sort of let's leave it until... How's that not lined up? Oh, it is, it's an optical illusion. I must come back to it at Christmas. It feels like a winter game, like I'm going to play it over winter holidays. Flicking on off and on there. Where are the chainsaws? Okay. So we want to copy that one back. Then this one should be a regular signal, because that's a chain, isn't it? Yeah. But then we want enough room for an exiting boat. Won't cause us too many problems. Oh, I can't flip it with signals, can I? So what's that? That's a signal. So the signal, these two are signals. then it's a chain for the one going in, which on this side is going to be that one. And then a regular. That one. Okay, so those should be functional. So it's not really a stacker, but cool. Let's do the standard, at least do the standard thing of bricks under the thing. Well, that looks okay, so no, I didn't mess it up. Cool. And then, oops, I'm tempted to just sort of fill this in with gravel around. Oh, does gravel? No, gravel doesn't go up to the coast. That's interesting. I didn't know. Yeah, look. It leaves a tile. Okay. Oops. Interesting effect. Let's see what a bit of concrete does. Nope. Autosave again. Wait, that's refined concrete, isn't it? One of the things that has come sort of back to me in a sense with the whole Friday Facts thing is just like reminding me how I used to really enjoy, you know, reading them basically every week. And how good a mechanism it is. Because it's obviously a very... It's on loads of streams before. It's like sort of a game that I know other people play, but it's sort of a very programmer type game, because it's that same sort of thing that you do when you're writing code. Like I say, appeals to all sorts, but what happened there? Yeah, it's good to think about the game in... Does the gravel not go that far? That's annoying. Yeah, think about the game in that way, and not sure about that, to be honest with you. Okay. Anyway, what we can do is have a little gate. Yeah, so I say my sort of usually excited for the new expansion, but one of my biggest feelings, as I say, has been more along the lines of I'm glad the Friday Facts are back rather than necessarily what they're saying. Okay. We could just build the loom thing here. Sort of fix that part. I wonder to what extent they've sort of planned out what they're doing, you know. Because it's, you know, sounded like from some of the other ones that it is basically finished in quotes. It's just being like refined and fixed and all that sort of stuff. So is that meant to be the oil? It is. Okay. So why is there no connection? Because that's output, isn't it? And that's input. I've just left them, haven't I? What the heck are you connecting to? I mean, nothing is the answer. What the heck is that meant to be? Might have to fire this up so that see what it's doing. Let's see how that works. Oops. Okay, so they're now pumping oil in. Yeah, and the oil just stops. Okay. So we need to connect this one to oil. And is this oil coming in? Why is it not connected up properly? Because that's petroleum coming out. And these are no, that's petroleum, isn't it? Oh, right, hang on. So that isn't... That would be like... I haven't finished this at all. I thought I'd done this. Oh, okay. Because those are they're at exit outputs. I've just got these pipes here mainly to make it sort of look symmetrical and stuff. They're not really to do anything. But where in the heckins was I going to put the... So that's petroleum coming out. So this is clearly meant to be petroleum here. That's got to be heavy. It's just the one, isn't it? What are you? You're heavy. Oh, this was my bizarre... Oh, yeah. Because I need to balance it. And that's what's happening there. Okay. I don't think I've worked out. Yeah, I don't think I'd worked out how I was getting the oil in. Because these just aren't connected to anything. Because are not also meant to be... Yeah, we've got oil connected here, haven't we? The heck are they doing? And why is there another one of there? Another one of them? Oh, I know, because I needed to double this up, didn't I? Hmm. Okay. Where can we fit some oil pipes going past? I wonder if we're actually better using this space here. Because I can move those relatively easily. Yeah, I think that might be a bit better. We go up there basically then. It's out the way. So this needs to be the oil. How many am I connecting it to? 1, 2. Wait. It's at the back, isn't it? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in theory, I don't think the math is going to work on this, is it? So I'll just put this here, but it's only, yeah, let's put it there. This needs some real tidying up at some point. Right, we've got oil there. So that's one. The next one would need to connect here. So let's put that, that's 2. And then... perfect. Great. That's one for this set. Doesn't feel like there's going to be enough throughput. Where's the... here? This is the first one of the second one. This is the second one of the second one. All of them. So it doesn't feel like this is going to be enough oil, but we shall see. That one needs connecting as well. To there. So. And then last one. Which I have hooked up there. It's just simply a matter of fixing that. None of this is power. Okay. all of them connected? Or no? Right then. Because they should have all have water, because they've got direct pumps. What they don't have is ways of outputting things. So, in the assumption that I have not, except I have, and that goes nowhere, doesn't it? Let's put a fluid void. Oh, what's that? Change that. Oops. They have changed it. So I don't actually know which is which. This is a problem. I don't know which I'm hooking. That I'm assuming that's heavy, which is what I need to hook the lube up to. But it's all connected. I don't know. I'm just gonna slap some substations in where I see blinking. Oh well. It's not actually connected over that way, is it? Look. Tweak this so it's there. So it'll actually be the bottom one if I want them all nicely lined up. Much quite bothering because it's right in line with the path, so it's not going to be there in the end, is it? Oh well. Oh, so that is heavy. Okay. Well, at least it's one question. So. This didn't appear to be anything there. Okay. Let's drag the middle one over. I'll just copy and paste this one. I'm having to consciously think about talking louder, as I say. I don't know if the mumbly thing is just a Sergeant Valley thing. Right. So this is the only one that's got anything coming through it. We do know that this is messed up. Not messed up. This is not connected either. Messed up. So messed up. So these are not connected either. Yeah. And there's a... So that'll be the trigger then. So if I just sort of run up. Parallel. So it should hopefully mean they're all fixed up. They've not kicked into gear though, have they? So that's the heavy. Petroleum's coming down there. No, that's not. Why is that not connected? So that's coming out there. That's petroleum cleaner. Oh, there's... Oh, okay. I wonder if that's consistent then. No, that's going into the right... I think. That's okay. The outputs for these should probably be on this side. Okay. Why is the petroleum not coming down? Oh, well, it's one tile out. Is one of the big reasons, I bet. Is that because that's one tile out? Yeah. It should be there. Oh! We're getting movement. If I go and connect up these properly, can I just flip this? Yes, where does this need... I have no clue where this needs to connect in, is the problem. So these will be petroleum on this side now. Okay. So I've got 5 pipes there. Which are here, aren't they? This is my 5 pipes. So this is where they need to be. So if I... flip it. Alright, no, okay. Get rid of that rubbish then. I've only got 4 pipes. Why have I only got 4 pipes? Because I copied the wrong bit, I think. That should be there. Oh, I bet I crashed into the pump without realising. So it should be here. There we go. That's that. We could again, I guess, spam each of these in. Keep picking up the floating one by accident. So let's put in there. Make sure we've got some connection points. So just chuck a bunch of these in. Except maybe connect them. That would help. Right. Right. Loads here. No. You there. You there. Okay. It's these, I believe, only service these top ones, and then these bottom ones are meant to be another set of these. So I'm actually thinking that maybe actually this whole thing needs punting over. But I don't know what the sort of pass-through volumes are on that. Yeah, in the assumption that it doesn't, I still don't know why that one is empty. I guess these just aren't running. There's no light oil in that at all, which is weird. Oh, but then that's a bottom one, so it wouldn't. It would be the top ones that should have light oil. Yes, yeah, so light oil in there. He's passing over. You're meant to be... Oh, because this is the heavy one, isn't it? Ah, but it's not connected. It's not going to do anything if it's not connected. There we go. So that passes excess heavy in. In. Oh. Check it all about. That's my light coming out of there. You're not connected to anything again. Because reasons. I don't know why that... I guess maybe that is successfully connected to the void and that's why it's not doing anything. That doesn't make sense. That can't be. Don't know why that's all that fluid has disappeared. What the heckins are you? You're nothing. You're nothing. Well, that's light to petroleum, isn't it? Oh my word, this is complicated. What have you done here, Triggs? So light oil coming out, and it's stuck because this is meant to be light, and it just stops. Yeah. I remember that. It punts over every so often, doesn't it? So yeah, so that goes into that one. And these are suddenly that thing. Okay, remember that. And what about you? You're going down that way. Yeah, you connect there. To that one. Okay. That's all the petroleum coming through. And there's light in two of them. Why is there not light in this one? Because why are you empty? Why are you empty? Ah. No pipe. No pipe. So that's all squirting down there. Okay, these are all, they're not all got something. What about this one? Why are these two empty? There's no connection there, for one thing. Connection's there. Not there. Right, so can we line up? Ah, why is there heavy in there? That shouldn't be heavy, should it? Yeah, that should be light. And this thing should be the heavy. So it's not connected to the right thing. Problem, of course, being that I've built that there, but it's not a problem because we know this was just a sighting thing. Positional. What do you want to call it? So if I just stick a... Weird that it uses the old icons, given they've changed them. Whatever. And this is now the light. I see the light. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, in theory, light would be coming out of there somewhere. But... Are those lined up? Yeah. Because this needs to connect. You haven't got different fluids then? Different fluids? That's heavy. It won't let me flash the system. So that's heavy. Why won't you let me connect that? It said different fluids. Huh. Oh, it'll be misconnected at the other end. Yeah, there we go. So that's not connected to heavy, it's connected to light. So that should be there. Probably will need some flushing and etc. Oops. Autosave again? Again? Nothing in any of them. I'll flush that. Can you let me connect it now? Yes, okay. I don't know what that pipe is doing. What is that? What are you doing? You're heavy. For no apparent reason. Probably be light. Connecting to something else, but we shall see. And now, of course, that's too far away. In fact, move that because it's not in line with the other pipe anyway. Go. But that's not what it's meant to be either. I think I basically just flipped, like manually, just flipped it around and then never actually sort of connected it to the right things. So that's heavy oil going up there. Yes, and it has voided it, so yeah, it's all okay on that side, I think. And that heavy, this is the weird recycling loop. This is where the heavy comes in. Pump to help that might not be a bad thing. Okay, should we have a look at the petroleum? We've got Still got that weird middle pipe that's not really doing anything. But... So that's petroleum, petroleum. Why is nothing getting up? Oh, because it's too far away. Should be there. What the heckins is that? I guess that's from something else. That'll be from the conversion thing, but we can sort that out later. He says no, they will never come back to it. Right, so if they connect there, no, that doesn't matter. We do it there, and that could just be a regular pipe. Push these back. There's maximum extension, so we've got it there again. Do I want both of those connecting to that one? I guess so. This is what I've done here. So we've got one there, to go to there. That needs to be there rather than there. Again, we don't really know whether petroleum pipes will actually connect. I had no memory of not actually finishing this. If you're... Why are you there at all? Because you're going down the bottom, aren't you? So only these... One, two... that need connecting to this and you. Not got any petroleum in these again. Still don't know quite why this middle one is empty. So that is not necessarily going to be there. Just that. It up. And I moved that heavy, didn't I? And now it's not aligned anyway. I don't get why the middle one doesn't have any fluid coming through. Okay. Let's do the light. Ah, that's not aligned properly, so... Light ones are here after the U-bend of the tank. I need to start going to this. These in. It's going to be there. E. Okay, so the light comes up there and gets added to here. Is that connected? It is. Don't really need that pipe. Well then. There's nothing in that bottom light. Weird. Comes up here. So those are connected there. And then this rather. It's connecting across here. Obviously, I don't really know where those are going to be. Okay, so we'll put it like that for now. It's a horrible mess of pipes, hurrah! Just so that it voids it. We'll go and work out why this middle one still doesn't have any petroleum in it. Because should all be running full chat now. Ah, except they're not. Why are you not working? Because you've got nowhere to pump your light. So the problem basically is that this is too much to go in the pipe. Ish, because what I really need is to have it voiding it, because well, have it, you know, processing it. Okay. Let's hook this up then. You know, part of it could be that we already filled those pipes, sort of thing. But I don't know. Well, none of these are running, so that's not helping, is it? Why are you lot not running? I mean, this isn't because of how I've done the heavy. It's not, you know, it's not backing up, which I kind of expected. But these ones aren't running because why not? We're on again because that's the one processing the stuff coming out of the heavy. So that's fine in quotes. That is petroleum going out, so this one's working. Oh, there's no logic on them at all. Okay. Okay. But why are you not running? Oh! Pipes are in the wrong place. That should connect to there. Oh dear. Such basic errors. Such basic errors. I assume it's probably... Yeah, same again. Let's just get rid of that then. Copy that. So it should be that. Actually, let's delete it first. Okay, that will help. Then there's not as much light passing through the system. Oh, they are not running. Why are you not running? Oh, because there's just not enough light coming through. Okay, that's fine. Which is good, in fact, because we reduce the demand. Why is that one? So that line is full still. I think this was... I think I said this before. I almost need like a fluid balancer. Which is just a horrible idea. Because you notice we got... You know... Almost empty, full, empty. How the heck would you do a fluid balancer? Hmm... Oh, no wonder it's... I mean, it's not going to be anywhere near enough oil, is it? Because this is just connected to... Yeah. To the boats. And not... Yeah, there you go. So it's basically empty, that one. It's because... Yeah. It is empty. I'm glad that's working, though. But they're actually going collecting oil. But we need to hook these up as well now. Because there just ain't enough oil. Okay. Right, where are we going for each of these? We've got 3 plugged in. We need to get into... Oops. 2 pipes. And there should probably be pumps on these, shouldn't there? Stop backflow. Seriously. Those. Right then. I don't even look like I finished these. Because those haven't got any beacons on them. What have I been playing about now? bot's being lazy. Not doing much better. Right. And pump. Then okay, what's that one? Put all of these three together. Line them up with something. Okay, oh, just make it. That's not connected there. I think I might. 18872 1154 15. Okay. You do some logic things on them and sort of balance it out, etc., etc. Still not full. I guess they're getting backflow, am I? And there's no boat up here. There is a boat. Oh, it's just arrived, is it? It has just arrived. So might need some more oil production. Probably just going to cheat it for now. And like stick a fluid source on these two. Output full. No, put it right around. Huh, so it can't push it out fast into the pipe, even though the pipe's not full. It's just bonkers how the fluids works. It's like, why is there no crude there? And they got these two here. probably needs a lot more pipes carrying oil independently, basically. And those are all firing. And these aren't. Why not? Because you're not getting enough crude. Yeah, they probably need a crude pipe each. That's virtually empty by that point. Hasn't worked at all, has it? Let's just cheat again then. For the sake of it. One there. Oh, that's a bad place. Put it there. 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 That one there, wouldn't it? Yeah, so fluid happens, hopefully. We get oil moving around properly. But they're all running is the point. They're all turning crude oil. If I can get a full pipe to them, they all run pretty much. There's a little bit of stuttering here, but I bet that's an output issue, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so if we can get them a full pipe, then that will work better. See, why are you not doing anything? Where are you coming from? You're coming from there. Just going from here. Where's that one going? Okay. Does that mean that middle one is full? The others aren't. I wonder if that's a problem on the other end, though. So you're full. And you're very much not full. Why would that be? So that one is connecting in there. Is that one misconnected? Yeah, that's light coming. Oh, that's going into the middle again. Ah, okay. So maybe that should be going into that one. And then the light there. This one isn't really connected to anything. So how are you oh, you're going... How are you still running? Oh, because it's connected on the other end. Of course it is. Okay, let's even them out a little. Problem with the testing with the void things is you don't get the back pressure quite the same way. It just all just disappears. So that middle one now. So they're connecting to the inside one. On this side, where is the petroleum connecting? Petroleum is connecting to the inside one. Okay, so it'd be better if this was connecting, because they're full, you see. So if this was actually connecting to that one, for example. Don't know why I put it there when I've got that. So it goes into the outer one. It's the same here, in fact. Put that there, so that one goes to that one. In which case, will that line up at all? Not really, but okay, I'm going to run down. That'll work. Ish. Yeah, not really working at all, found a way. Still nothing at all in the middle pipe. So I guess that's because this heavy is just all being sucked up, and that's where the... Middle petroleum has... Oh no, that's not middle... That's middle petroleum. It's coming out of this one. But this one is the one that's fed by the heavy overflow, and the heavy overflow is not being used because we're absorbing all the heavy rather than it backing up because of lube underproduction. Yeah. So, what does that mean? That means that if I do that pipe, maybe if I do it with the... So if we turn that around, and that's how I position that machine. It's just because that's going to bang into that thing, isn't it? Because this is right. In terms of distances. Oh dear. So, because if we take that on there, in fact, I'll be better off with the walkway. Wow. Okay. And then it will be that way round. Rock is in the way. I'm going mumbly again, aren't I? So, what we need is one of those. So it wouldn't be underneath it. That one, this one, that one. And then this bit here. Except the other bit round. Except cannot build here. So we need... That would be the gravel. Gap, gravel, doobie. Oh! Literally millimeters away. So if we rejig that piping, you know, turn these around so it's like that or something, or like that maybe, and that, and we hop it over, we can get the one line of gravel instead. Just leave them as is for now. Crikey! Millimeters to spare. Millimeters. Now, have I got ancient history? What are you? You are heavy to light. Okay. So you are this one, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Well, that's very cheeky of you. So it's that one. Now I can plop that down. I think. Oh no, it's different. Huh, why have they got... Oh, it's old. Is this... Oh no. Oh, it's missing the fence there. Because that's the top of the factory and I've just done it in error. So basically this needs... Yeah, I'll just not run that far, I guess, when I was in. But yeah. So presumably that error is repeated again. So... we should be able to take this. I can swap the recipe out. Why don't you have gates at all? It's the wrong way round for one. Wait. Wait, what? Yeah. Ah, that is an error there. Oops. Because it's probably an older version. They manually fixed it and then not realised blueprinting it. Except that it's completely arse about face anyway. Why is that there? What am you do there? Is that all messed up on this one as well? No, sorry, I've obviously fixed it. But yes, this will be the heavy to light recipe, but the machine position and orientation, etc., exactly the same. So yeah. Why does it keep doing that? So it wants to be. That's fine. I'm just trying to get the gravel and the concrete and the walls and stuff in. So I've got to do it again though, haven't I? Because I forgot about the water. Let's get the water on. Okay. Let's run up with some power pole. I'm running out of steam. Not sure this version works either. Completely pre-recording it. Oh right, no, it's kept the recipe, is it? Oh yeah. Interesting. Yeah, so let's hook these up. This one here is the heavy to light, isn't it? Yes, and we've got the pipe coming over, but it's in the wrong place. Oh dear. Am I going to have to move all of that slightly over? Let's have a think, because this would need to be light coming in. Oh dear. So it sort of doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm gonna have to move this down. This whole thing just stamped in. Gonna have to move it down a couple of times so that it's nice and even, I guess. Does that make sense? So that was my thing there. Could do... Yes, it matches on that side. Where is that? That's... there. So the here. Where there's no fence. So that'd be like that. So actually it's these I need to move or rearrange in some way. I think, because really this needs connecting to this. And that's where a light thing is. Okay, which is why it was all misconnected before. Okay. In which case we'll just have a... dog leg. What we really need to focus on is in these light ones up. So that would be the wrong one to connect it to. Oh, I don't want that there because that's where the path needs to be. In fact, let's just copy that over. Ah. We should still have that one there. Does that connect to anything? Yes, but also no. Why is that not the same as that? So that should be there. So we flip it over. Run this way. Oh, it is the same. Yeah, perfect. Okay. You're forgiven. Oops, that up there. Make that too wide. Cross. Okay. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. We are getting there. This is light coming out again, isn't it? And it needs to connect to whichever one I connected it to here. Which one is that? That's on the left. Yeah, on the left side. That would need to be. There. And that's a foolish schoolboy. Okay. Now you are light coming in, aren't you? Which of these is fullest? Middle one. I have kind of connected. Oh no, I haven't. That should be connected to the outer one. Now, we've then got 3 of them, and we've got 3 pipes, so it kind of doesn't matter. Which we connect where? But we'll do that on there. So that's the left. Then we will do there. There's the middle. And then we realise we've run out. Okay. I suppose it wouldn't be that one anyway, would it? Yeah, probably better if it's that one maybe? Or even the middle one. I'm not going to do the middle part. Okay. Point is, this is where the heavy is. 2.5 hours later, he's finally worked out where the heavy pipe is. It's going well. It's going well. So again, let's try doing something a bit different. Why don't we have a little mini factory, sort of, yeah. We like with that. So this would be, what, a heavy? Wait, which way around is it? Let's just grab this. What am I messing up? Why am I messing about? Okay. Let's try that again. So if that's what? Heavy coming in, maybe? Just wondering, maybe do something different again. Maybe have it this way around, and we'll have unnecessary numbers of beacons. Multiplying up your bacon. Where does that go? That would go to there. Okay. And then, well, maybe I get that. Can I put them together? Because loops relatively simple. Well, we got 6 and 6 and 6 and 6, and that becomes unnecessary. Okay. And Could just have them empty there. And boop boop. Move that back. And then we've got outputs here. Nice symmetrical pattern. It's slightly off, but that's fine. Let's take that. Right there. Okay, so if we're going to align it with that, that'd be nice. Which would mean what? The top. So if that was there, that. Do you think I'm aligning it with that pipe? I got that wrong then. No, I got that wrong. Because that needs to be. There. So this would be the loop coming in, heavy coming in. There maybe? One more. And then dog look it over there. The double dig log. Dog leg. Leg dog. Right. Okay. Ooh, I can power everything with a single option. If I stick a void in there, I wonder what happens. In theory, it should be backflowing. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. So let's make this look pretty. So what we got? We have got various colours of green concrete. Some very lurid green concrete. I need to get rid of these though. I think, what else? Got that one, and that one. seems to be one missing. Oh, hello, Soulbone. Legendary Wars. Yes, indeed. I thought there was. I'm just slightly puzzled because I thought I had another. Oh, here it is. There we go. So I've got another type of concrete because you never have too much concrete. Oh, I see. Also, legendary fish if you recycle a legendary spider strong. Is that how it would? Oh, I mean, we don't know, do we? But yeah. I don't think. I'm just trying to remember. I was obviously doing it at the start of the stream, really. I didn't think walls had an effect. I'm not sure I've still got it up. Let me just check. Because I don't think... Didn't they say some items can't be legendary or something? I know walls can be legendary, but... what did they actually say? Because they gave the list, didn't they, of effects on things. So, they've got more health. There are a few entities which don't have any bonus apart from the health. Belts, pipes, rails, chests, combinated walls and lamps. So, you can make legendary walls. Weird. But they don't... They're just more, just stronger, basically. But yeah. It is, I say, I'm not a fan. Oh, there you go, you answered it. Was more health. All items and entities can have quality, but only some get bonuses other than health. They'll have more health. More Wally, yeah. More Wally. Extra specially... I suppose you could get toughened bricks, couldn't you, in theory? They're sort of higher durability bricks or something like that. But so I'm not a massive... I've never been a fan, really, of legendary items. It's never really kind of worked for me as a thing. It's sort of... It didn't mean anything. It's like... I can't remember which game it was, but it had like guns, basically. And the guns would be... That's the wrong one, isn't it? The guns were legendary guns, but it's like they're the same guns, and it's like, well, how can you have a legendary, AK-47 that does more damage? It just makes no sense. This M16 is a legendary M16 and shoots legendary bullets. It just doesn't, doesn't work for me as a way of expressing it. So I think I'll just be calling them level 1, level 2 and level 3, that type of thing. What was I looking for? I was looking to see how I've done the things. Yeah, so if you set aside the naming side of it, I was saying earlier on, 14x14 power on Mark II, yeah, and Spidertron as well, because I was saying when I was recording it that, a grid site. Have I got a Spidey on me? Just build one if I haven't. I don't think I have. It's not a lot of point to them when you're basically in creative. Oh, it'd be under vehicles. Oh, hang on. So that's the thing. Spidertron doesn't have a number. If you stack multiple... Oh, it just does multiple Spidertrons. Anyway. Yes, so... if you look at its grid size... Oh, you can do multiple. Unless this is extended because it's creative. I don't remember it being so big. Have I got any power thingies? Yeah, so, the fact that at the moment you can fit 2 and then you've got to work out. So I don't remember it doing that, but whatever. and you get for a legendary Spidertron, and that makes more sense to me, a legendary Spidertron. But legendary Spidertron, you would get 4 extra columns and 4 extra rows, I think it said. So you'd have, if it's 2, 4, so it's 6 by 10 at the moment. So it becomes 14 by 10. Which is that not? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, it's bigger than I've currently got on my inventory. My inventory sort of thing. And then that's, so it's not quite as big. Oh no, it's bigger than that actually, because it'd be 14 by 10. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to them. 10 by 14, yeah. Spider with more than 6 by 10. Actually, how do you even upgrade your fish? I don't know. I say there are some questions around it that I'm not quite sure. I mean, well, this is one of the things. I wouldn't be surprised if the recipe changes for a Spidertron, because Spidertron is now on another planet. So it does sort of beg the question. You know, it's like a reward for going to another planet. So does that mean that we're not getting Spidertrons with fish? You know, they're different sort of a mechanism for controlling them. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it is still the fish brain, that it's exempt from, you know, that requirement. But yeah, or as you say, you might have to recycle it and it becomes a legendary fish. The fish of legend. But then Stardew Valley's got legendary. They are just literally the one square, or squares that it's on. And it's refined with brick. No, that's concrete, isn't it? Refined with concrete. So, in fact, maybe if I do, what's the one? 830. Fortunately, they said there's no quality ore patches. Okay. Got that there. Green. But yeah, maybe you have to do some kind of special fishing. Have I not got another concrete bit? Because they're all refined. So what have they done? Oh, it's not coloured in this, is it? Oh, it's because they're larger areas. And then I've got ordinary. What about this over here? Oh no, I've just left the edging. Okay, maybe if we do bigger area on again. And then maybe these sit on video refined concrete. 2. Oops. It's quite the green. Quite the green. Was that the rubbish one? That's the rubbish one. And that was that one. Would have been cool if you had to fly far away to find a patch of uncommon ore. It would be like a natural freight forwarding. Yeah, I mean, I suppose there's always the option, isn't there, of the modders adding that sort of thing in when they get access to it. So, obviously, Bob's and stuff. Oh, is it Angels? I can't remember. Has the infinite patches and stuff like that. So, I'm sure they'll get it to work. That is quite the green. I wonder if I can tone it down. Maybe regular. Inches. So. Feels like maybe I should put something here just to make it symmetrical. Right now the whole one is the same green. Indeed. Something's gone wrong there, because that's not fine. Wrong bit. Maybe I should wrap that around. And then if we have that one, wouldn't it? Like that. Middle. There. So you're looking forward to the expansion journey? I'm not sure if you've joined one of the, because I've been experimenting, to be honest, but I've been reading through the Friday Facts on stream and commenting on it and thinking about it and all that sort of stuff. And I sort of realised the other week I just sort of launched into it. I hadn't really expressed my general excitement, shall we say, for the expansion. I'm really quite looking forward to it. I really want to know more about the actual space side of it, rather than the, you know, I mean, it's always good to have the improved bots, and always that. I'm not against that, you know. But I want to hear about what we do in space and what these other planets are and all that sort of stuff. But then, I suppose they've got a year before they're launching it, so they don't want to. Oh, that looks quite funky on the map. Although, why is that not got a line there? Oh, I see. Because I've not done. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it, actually. Must have some green lights. Something there. Yeah, cool. So, we will then want fence around the edge. And maybe we put the... Where's the... Put that little gate there. Haven't got any hazard creating it though, have I? A bit there. Missed. Yeah, okay. And then we want some gravel, I think. Although, if this is a proper factory, yeah, we'll have to put a proper wall around it, I guess, won't it? As in, not proper factory, a complete factory. So we need something, a concrete wall around the edge. Paths. That's unfortunate positioning, isn't it? Shame it lines up with that. Here's what it is. Okay. concrete. Because that's a stone gate. Is there not a concrete gate? There is. Does it look any different? Because that's a stone gate. Oh, it does. Okay. That there then. How is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just use it as a spacer. But does my spacer so it includes the actual wall. So it should be one target there. Like that. That's okay. Just hoping that that does reach. Funky little Z pattern. Current on this side, I think. Yeah. So I don't really know where they're connecting up yet. I do want the stone brick underneath. Like its foundations. Just wondering about maybe pulling that back a tile, I think. I prefer that. The idea, part of the idea of some of this is that, because obviously, you know, you can't have roofs in Factorio, but if you imagine these as like almost like the support pillars, almost the entire roof structure for a warehouse. So it's a bit more like that rather than just a random wall. Is what I'm thinking. Haven't really done the like final outer walls before. I wonder if I should just make it a little bit fancy. Little. I'm sort of amazed it's still going. Because, in fact, why isn't that one running? Output full. Okay, there we go. It's filling up now. I suppose I could put... Maybe we could put a pump. Oops. On this end. So if I move that... one in. So we've got the ins and the outs. And they're shaking it all about. Okay. Do we want some gravel on it? We do. What colour gravel? Oh, it's 8:45. Okay. Actually, I'll be overdoing. A lot of the streams I just keep going and forget and stuff like that. I'm absolutely famished. Didn't manage to get anything to eat before I started recording the video, so actually tempted to knock it off early actually. But it's only 10 minutes, so we will keep going. I will soldier on, or I starve to death. Okay. What else could I usefully do in the remaining 15 minutes? I guess we could fiddle about with the plastic. No, I got a bit annoyed with it last time. Got bored with it, not annoyed. Right, because what I discovered, I think, is the way I've done this. I don't think I've got enough output lines, so I've got up to 12 lines. But I've only given, so it basically means that... Oh, it is a belt there, okay. So that's a belt. Okay. That's not as bad. Oh no, I did fix it, didn't I? Because I put too many or something before. Okay. We want these to be some sort of square block. And at the moment I've got fences between them, haven't I? So we'll just copy that. That. And flip that around. Oh, I've messed up the belts on them. Should be getting that one. Like that. So I guess the entries are going to be here, maybe. Single tile it and maybe put it on both sides. Yeah, that works. No, come on, place. There. Oops. Okay, and then we've got that. Well, I think it was going to need to be wider, isn't it? Or bigger. I think that actually is enough room. Does it not matter? Okay. Let's just do it like that for now. Or was it that the coal was wrong? Was that what we discovered? No, so that's a belt's worth. And it's got... I mean, it hasn't got two, but it's got whatever comes out of those two. Yeah, okay, so it works. Right. Let us... paste that in. Would it be there? No, be that one. That. Okay. So these... yeah. These two should connect to these. Yeah. It's not actually that far off this, but so it's just got sort of a bit bored working on the same thing all the time. Right. Okay. One tile gap, obviously. It's under that. We're going underground. We're going underground. Oh, going underground. Why have you not got any power? Guess because these are too far away? That's fine. Okay, let's just put one in there then. Some connection points. That's better. There. Out where our doors are. There. 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 And there. Okay. It's not running. Why is it not running? What's gone wrong? Oh, that's too far away. Why is that too far away? It's too far away there as well. Okay. That reaches. Alright, if I move that up one, what would be best to do? It might be better if that was like that. And then I can sort of... Oh, oh I guess it was trying to put all the coal in the inventory. So the first one can just be a little bit longer, as right? Cool. Okay, so they're all working. This means these will lead up. There's a hole in the fence. Never good. Fiddly bob. Why does it keep firing that one? I don't know why I've got a load of... Nope. That one. That one. Round the wrong side. So you can't run through the fence. Go. You. Okay. Light cobblers. Copy this one. There's something wrong here. What are you raining about on this end? Oh, it's the belt. We'll fix it now. Okay? Okay. Now. Right. You're not working. Why are you not working? Fussy, fussy. Okay. How much space is there at the back? So, if I was to... So, if this was... stone break. And that stone break there. And then... maybe gravel? Maybe? Gravel? Gravel, gravel? And then concrete grid. It's 3. It's a bit annoying. Okay. So we just have a single line because it is the back part. Yeah. It's the back, running around the back of the back of it. But then no. Let's go with that. Because it is gravel on either side, so that's fine. Then I guess this needs to be similar. So that would be like that. And then this one here. No? I guess stone brick there. Gravel there. Stone there. Let's just do my stone. So where the edges are. Like that. Okay. So I've just finished putting the stone on, and then I'll do my sign off. As I say, I'm not going to accidentally desperately looking at my little clock to get something to eat. The 9 hours of night. It's lunch. Right. Okay. If this was a 3er, well, let's actually look. Let's do it. So, yeah. If that was the belt, you see, then that could go in the middle. But it 2 there and 1 there. Okay. So that needs to be a 4er. Or, I guess it could be a 2er. You could leave a gap. If the belt was... because this is 3 lanes coming out. That maybe? Or the other way around. Because we need to be able to access that. Need to be able to, but... in the head cannon, I've decided... roleplay, I guess, decided to do. Okay. And then that... yeah. Popped there. And this becomes our lanes. We can get rid of these now, can't we? Just the count of the number of machines. So those 12 lanes are the ones that need to be over here. These ones. Might have to rethink how I've done that then, mightn't I? It doesn't matter because I got space there. But I need to be able to get the loop round. I guess I could underground it there. But then I've got this factory right here. Or I could just underground it over. And then basically we need... I don't know why I did it only one apart. You're always going to have... So ideally there... Maybe? I guess it could be down the bottom somewhere. So it could line up with this bottom line. Because we need some balances, basically. Otherwise it all goes a bit wonky. We're going to have 2 6 to 6. And then split them up. So maybe it's here. Oh, no, wrong thing. It's starting to come together. It's starting to come together. The end game of this particular factory. I think this is going to be a nightmare to sort out, isn't it? I'm actually wondering, because the rocket is just light oil, maybe it goes in here. Because these pipes are irrelevant. And like the train comes out the side. Because I say these pipes are irrelevant because they were working out. In fact, I say that they probably that is probably the volume of oil I need. But we've got other oil patches. That one there, for example. Could use. Cool. I will have to play this when between things, otherwise I will completely forget. Because that's it for today. What the heck is my schedule? There it is. We will be back. Oh, I didn't change it, did I? It'll be 3 o'clock tomorrow, not 4 o'clock. But this will be the last stream for a couple of weeks. I'm going to a games convention called WASD X IGN. Bit of a mouthful. All letters. Next weekend, basically. So I will not be streaming next weekend. And when I come back at the weekend after, I will be changing up the series. So I will be playing Angels. Just Angels. I probably won't mix it with Bob's because I'm more curious to see what Angels on its own is, because everyone seems to play Bob's and Angels together. I'm just sort of curious as to what Angels really is. It will probably be... I'll probably neuter the biters, basically. Just make them, passive maybe, and then they're there and I can do a bit of combat if I want to, but, it doesn't... Or I need to, but it doesn't... I might even turn off evolution and stuff, I don't know. Or expansion anyway, but focus will be on just seeing what Angels is, and trying to get that done basically by Christmas. So trying to do a playthrough that will work by Christmas. Just launch a rocket again like I did with Bob's. And the Sunday stream will switch over to Tectonica, so that I can see what that's all about. Buzz seems to have gone down on that. I don't know if that's because they've not released an update or anything, but I don't know if people found it wasn't all that interesting or whatever. I don't know, but so I just only played for like 20 minutes. So I'd quite like to do a few streams on that at least. But those series will then hopefully take us up to Christmas. I'll probably be doing more streaming over Christmas because I've got this big chunk of holiday that I don't really have anything to do. Whether it will be those series, trying to finish them off, I don't know. And then the question is what I play next year, and I don't know. That's the answer. I'm hoping one at like DSP or something will come up with a big update. Put the first version of their combat update, and I'll be able to stream that as well. But I could start SpaceX maybe, or I don't know. But yeah, so that's all to come. And the only other thing is to say, I have a YouTube channel, and you can catch all of the VODs there. I will also put up the full version, as per usual, on the Wednesday of the Friday Facts read-through, which will be in. It was done via video, so it's not part of the stream, so it'll be an exclusive extra bit. If you'd like hearing me just reading things aloud, it's a skill I have. But yes, other than that, if you have been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it, and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Factorio. Thanks for watching.